Worship, my life's one and only desire. God's purpose for our lives is not for us to live comfortably in this world and safely enter into heaven. His purpose is for us to take on His Son's image and become true brothers and sisters with other brothers and sisters of Jesus. For those God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. In other words, all of the whys that we face in our lives is for us to become more like the image of God's Son, and for us to be more included as a member of God's family. What then should be our life's greatest desire be in order to fulfill this purpose? Regarding this matter, David confessed one thing that he asked of the Lord was to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of his life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek Him. Summarized in a single word, his greatest desire was worship. That is because true worship is not just participating in a religious activity. Rather, it means to seek to know and long for God more. However, is worship worthy of being the utmost priority of our lives? In fact, we do not know God very well, and nor are we interested in Him. However, we are knowledgeable about many things other than God. Also, we don't long for God, and even if we try to, it does not last for very, very long. However, we long for so many things other than God that the list could go on. Even though we have a lot of knowledge and longing for such things, we are still thirsty for love. We are lonely, depressed, and sometimes don't want to continue on with our lives. However, if a man lives like so, realizes that there is an amazing person who has already sacrificially, unconditionally, and faithfully loved him, then would he not, from that point on, naturally make it his life's utmost priority to know that person and seek Him? Therefore, worshiping our God who has given us His Son cannot not be our rightful and exciting purpose, which we make it our one and only desire. And if you put worship as your life's utmost priority, there will be two results that follow. First, you will put behind all of your fears and worries and draw closer to God. In fact, David was in the midst of Absalom's rebellion when he considered worship to be his utmost priority. However, he knew the core of his problems was not his painful reality, but the failure of worship, which led such an event. And he knew that the core solution was not the improvement of his circumstances, but the restoration of worship. When he did that, David was able to put behind all of his fears and worries, and he was able to draw closer to God. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. In fact, the fears and worries that invade our lives are practical atheism. And the only way to overcome this problem is the restoration of worship, which seeks to know and long for God more. Second, you will take on a specific shape in order to serve God's family. God's sons and daughters, who are the younger brothers and sisters of Jesus, also coexist at the place of worship, God's house. The members of a biological family get to reveal their characteristics to one another as they get to know each other and are refined. In the same way, the members of a spiritual family get to find their spiritual gift, heart, ability, personality as they share their lives, and through experience, they'll be refined to take on a personal and specific shape that will enable them to serve God and their brothers and sisters. Psalm 27:4. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple.